Hi, a very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to see a line graph, and this line graph shows the average attendance at cinema around among various age groups in the US from 2000 to 2011. So we have a model answer here. Just before assessing the model answer, we just look at the picture again. We can see that this is the percentage side in the vertical axis, and this is a movement chart which shows the years advancing from 2000 to 2011. Now, let us go ahead and see the proportion was higher among 15 to 24 age group than any other age group. You can see that all through the period. Then what we can see is that the youngest age group was the next age group, which mostly dominated the area, that 7 to 14. So they were the next section of people who viewed the movies more than other groups. So you can see a similar pattern for the 25 to 35 age group. It was somewhere similar, but not so similar, to somewhere similar between this point and this point. So the graph was a little bit more closer. So if you can see that this particular, the distance between this point and this point is wider, the distance between this point and this point is wider, but you cannot see the distance here between these two lines as wide as this thing. So, you know, that it was somewhere similar. You can see, if you see an overall, if you have an overall look, you can see that this thing, the pattern was a little bit more or less similar for the attendance in these two age groups, that is 7 to 14 and 25 to 35. And now we can see the picture, the attendance of the oldest age group, that is 35 and over. Then we can see that they were the least attendees to the cinema, and you can see that it was an average, it went at 1%, 2%, 5%, and the maximum 10% here in 2010, and just crossed 10% or 12% in 2011. So this is what we can see, the overall picture. You can see the overall picture here. As the trend was increasing, this, you can say, as the year advanced, you can see the attendance to cinema also increased. And at the same time, you can see one more thing, as in general, the younger age group, the attendance are more, except in case of this thing. This is an exception, 7 to 14%. This is an exception. So when as the age advanced, the pattern of movie viewing went down, except in case of 7 to 14 years group. So this is what we can see. Let's see the model. We do have to edit if there is some problem there. The given line graph compares the typical rate of people who attended the cinema over a period of 11 years from 2000. As one matter is missing there, that is where it happened. The given line graph compares the typical rate of people who attended the cinema in the US over a period of 11 years from 2000. So you can see, if you want to cut short the word count, what you have to do here, this is something which you have to take care when, if you write over a period of 11 years from 2000, or if you write from 2000 to 2011, both are the same, but you have to write more words when you go ahead with this pattern. So in order to cut short the number of words, you have to go with, I recommend you to have minimum number of words in the introduction and overview too. So because it looks awkward when you see more vocabulary there in the introduction. The reader should understand what is the picture as fast as he looks at a glance. He should see what exactly the picture is. So this is the thing. So the line graph compares the typical rate of people who attended the cinema in the US. Oh, sorry. In the US, I can say it is between 2000 and 2011. So that's the thing that you can do. And one more thing you need to understand this. These are figures and this won't be considered as a word. So if you want to, the only figure that you can use in introduction is the year. So you use it and save the word count. So this is what I need to advise you. Now, let us go ahead with the overview. In general, the rate was climbing over the years. You can see in all age group, it is the same. It's also obvious that the proportion of attendance was seen falling as the age advanced. As the age advanced, the proportion of attendance was seen falling, except in case of the youngest age group. The youngest age group is 7 to 14. So that's the picture there, the overall picture. Now, as per the chart, the percentage of people who attended the cinema was under 20. Now, we have not used the symbols here because we have used the subject percentage. So we don't need the sign there, like we don't need this symbol because we have used the subject as the percentage of people. Now, again, in case of the viewers who were between 15 and 24, the rate spiked twice to 44 and 50, the rate. So we don't need the symbol again. So you can see two spikes here, one spike and second spike. You can see there. And this happened from just 15% in 2000. So that's what we have said very clearly. After a slump, it went again and hit a record high of 57%. After a slump, it went again to hit a record high of 57%. So that's what we, yeah, it went again to hit a record high of 50. It means the rate. It means the rate. So I don't need again the percentage. So I have not used the percentage. Please be very careful when you have whenever you have to use the percentage. You please make sure that you have not used rate or percentage or proportion as the subject. If you have used proportion or rate or percentage as the subject, please don't put the sign for percentage. Now, again, when we go ahead, the pattern of attendance of the youngest age group and the middle age group was more or less similar. So you can see it was more or less similar. Over this 11-year period, the percentage of people who attended the cinema from this group fluctuated between 5 and 38. Again, I can see some words which are redundant here. So we don't need this thing. So I can underline. So this is the thing. It's just a waste of time and energy if you are writing this thing. So we don't need this actually. So I can just say the percentage of people who attended the cinema from this age group fluctuated between 5 and 38. Again, the sign is not there, please not. Which was mostly dominated by the younger group. You can say the 7 to 14-year age group were dominating there. The oldest group, that is 35 and over, So please note the punctuation. So 35 and over is written. There is a comma before, a comma after. So please note the punctuation. The oldest group, 35 and over, had not shown much interest in cinema viewing, as their attendance had not crossed, and not it's not as, and their attendance had not crossed even 10% until 2010. So here, this is the first place I have used the percentage. Here, why I have used the percentage? Because I have not used the subject as rate or percentage or something like that. So that is the end of this particular session. Have a nice day.